Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. Now today we're going to do another calendar page and I'm so pleased that you're joining me. And today we're looking at March. Now I'll show you the design I'm hopefully going to create and then I'll explain to you why. So as you know, with these calendars, I'm taking my inspiration from the little design that Tracy adds at the base. And this one had our beautiful poppies on. So I'm not doing it as in what the month means to me. You can do, and normally I would, but for a change, I thought, I'll take the inspiration and just make this part of my design. So I've already decorated the bottom, similar to the way I'm going to decorate the top. The only difference is the little bumblebee I've done in second generation, just so it was more of grayscale to go with the design that's already there. And I've just extended it a little. So that's the idea. What I've done already is I've put some copy paper underneath, just because I tend to go over the edges and I don't want to get my pages underneath. I tend as well, if I can show you, I have a piece of copy paper, almost like a little flap, that I put over the base that I'm leaning on, just to try and minimise getting marks on there. And I've also popped some Lavinia low-tack tape around, and that's just this, what I tend to do. And again, a few of you have been in touch and said you're scared of going straight on your calendar. I can totally understand that. I cut a piece of card the same size and practice my piece first. But also, I know that then, if my calendar was to go wrong, I could always glue this on top and nobody would know. So, lots of things you can do. But don't be scared. It's really good quality card. And you know what it's like when we make a card anyway. Well, you know what I'm like. I'm forever adding bits, dropping bits. And there's ways round it. But as I say, if you are particularly scared, just think you can always make another piece of artwork and glue it over the top. Because I won't tell anybody. We do keep our secrets, don't we? So like I say, this is the design I'm going to be going for. Now, I'm just going to put this where I can see it to give me an idea what to do. As I say, I've taped off my area. For this one, I really fancied that lovely white border. And I'm going to start with some stamping. And the first stamp I'm going to use is the wildflowers. And for this, I'm going to use the VersaFine Claire, and it's the Hawthorn Rose. And it's one of the new colours. If you haven't got this, I'm sure you've got a colour that would be suitable. And I'm just going to have a sort of grouping here. Maybe a second generation there. Again, this is where this is really good, because I know I've got tape, but I'm liable to forget where that tape finishes. And also, I do lean my block on my work. And if there's any ink on the back of my block, I don't want to get it on my work and spoil it. So we'll have a nice little grouping here. And then it's funny trying to get it to look natural and random. So we'll have a smaller group over there. That was the wildflowers. So next I'm going to come in with our wild summer flowers. I love this one. And this one, I'm going to come in with my black. Now you could use grey for this, but I'm going to use second generation of the black. So I'll take the first one off, just to give me sort of a bit more of an ethereal look. So it's not quite as bright. Like I said, I could have used grey, but my morning mist just didn't seem the right sort of grey, if that makes sense. I'm sure it will to you. And this I've purposely not re-inked the stem, look, so the stem almost disappears. So that's all I'm going to do with that. I want to have a nice selection of stamps, but I almost don't want to overcook it with each one, if that makes sense. So I'll come in now with our lovely lavender. and we'll go Lilac Bloom for this one. And I'm thinking, you know me, I've got a thing about the bees and the lavender from our holidays in France when the boys were little. So we'll just add some random stamping with the lavender. Again, I don't want to overdo it. Maybe we'll do a little few over here. Little clump there. Right, I'm going to stop with the lavender for now. I can always add a bit more if I decide. Now, what I do want to do is add my wild poppies. And this was the one that the inspiration comes from. And I'm using the fabulous new red. Now, I do think this is a must-have. For me, in my VersaFine Clay collection, I didn't have a good red. And I'm just going to put a clump of poppies here. And then I'll come in with one more with the red. And I know I'm red stems. I could clean it all off, but you know what? Artistic license, I'm having red stems. I'm going to put the lid on the red. But what I want to do is, and I know you'll think I'm funny, I love black silhouettes on top of coloured stamping. So I'm just going to clean my stamps. I've just got a damp cloth in my Inky Binky, and I'm going to come and on top of that put the stamping in black, and it'll really make both of them pop. So I'm just going to, in the middle here, sort of overlap the two. Now I'm just going to let that ink soak in for a minute. And I just like that black on top of the red. Now I've missed a bit here. Obviously didn't press it hard enough, but don't worry, we can get rid of that. So what I will do lastly is I'm going to come in, because I've got my stamping in black here, and I'm going to stamp my Bumble Bee in black. I need black somewhere else in the design, but I don't want it too heavy. So this is where the field grass comes in beautifully, just to add a little bit of stamping in the foreground and in black, and it will tie it all together, make it look that lovely cohesive design, but it's not very heavy. So where we've got this space here, look, and then a little bit of second generation there. And if you've got any bits like me, look, where I know you're shouting at me there, where I misstamped, little bit of field grass, and nobody would ever know. Right, I'm going to stop there because I don't want to overcook it. I don't want to spoil it. What I do want to do is put my lovely bee on there. So I'm just going to give myself a bit of space, ink up the bee. Now, you could put both on if you wanted. You could put the group of bees that we've got, but I just thought just one would be enough, with having the one at the base of the page as well. So I'm going to sort of put him in that space there. Yeah, I like that. Nice little shape. Now, again, VersaFine Clay, a slower drying ink, so we need to blot that. So just going to get myself a clean piece of copy of paper and blot that, so then I can add the colour behind. And again, I just find it easy to do it that way. So while I'm blotting it, I just want to ask you, how are you keeping? How are you doing? I hope you're having a good week. I know it's only just started. I love our Monday catch-ups. Mondays can be a bit funny, can't it? If your week doesn't start well, it can put you off the rest of the week. So we need a good start. Just be mindful as well, your ink will dry slower on your masking tape. So it is always useful just making sure you blot that masking tape. Look, that's what the line is there. Now, I want to add some colour in the background, so I'm going to come in with blue atoll mainly at the top, and then a little bit of dark denim at the base. Now I'm just going to move my work slightly to the side so I can put my ink pads here. Now, you'll know if you're doing the calendar with me, because of the size of them, it's amazing how space does become a premium, especially when you're used to, you know what us crafters are like. We're used to crafting on small spaces anyway. Right, the larger brushes, the number 9 brushes, and I'm going to come in first with the blue atoll and dab it in the lid and just come in from the corner. And again, I'm just going to build this up slowly. If you're nervous because you've not done this in your calendar before, top tip, ink, always blend it in the lid and come in from the copier paper nice and gentle. And that way you'll get a feel for how much ink you've got on your brush, how juicy your ink pad is. You know, if it's a new ink pad, it will be very juicy. So make sure you dab it off in the lid. If it's an older ink pad that you've used a lot like mine, you can probably come straight in. Right, and I'm going to come in from this side now. Top tip, I want to add my colour here. I would never go straight into this area because I would get lines. So if I just blend it in from the corner, look, of my tape and just gently fill this space. And I'm almost going to leave a little bit of white around our lovely bee, almost a bit of a halo around him. I think he'll stand out better. Now you can do the background first if you want. For me, I like to do it this way just because I find I'm more happy with my stamping if I get my stamping done. But that's just me because I worry about my stamping. It's my weakest point. Now this is the darker colour, so again, make sure you do come in from those corners and right across the base. I want it nice and dark at the base here. Just adds that nice bit of depth. Grounds the whole thing. A bit more in these corners. Lovely. Now what I am going to do at this point is bring my stencil in, and I just wanted something in the background. Now this is cobbles. When I did the design, I didn't know whether to flick water or put the moon mask on. You could spotlight your bee, and I thought, oh, I seem to have done that a lot recently. What can I do that's different? And I thought, I know, bring myself my stencil in, and I'm just going to add tone on tone. So my suggestion here is don't ink your brushes up again. See how much colour you've got on there. You can always add a bit. So I'm just going to go right across and just see. Probably won't get very much. No. So I do need to add some ink. But do remember, tickle your stencil and just take your time. Right, I'm going to have a look now. Oh, yeah, there's a bit there. I can take a bit more, so I can take it a bit deeper. But I'd rather be building it up than look at it and think, oh, no, I've spoilt that. And we've all done it, haven't we? Oh, yeah, that's just enough. Just want a tiny bit more here. So what I'm going to do now is in with the dark. Now this, do the light first to get almost like your iron and your balance. And we'll add some lovely dark here. And I'm just going to bring that up. Right, let me have a look. Yeah, like that. Now, not going to ink up, but I'm lightly just going to bring a little bit of that on here. Just, again, lightly does it gently, and I'm almost flicking across just to add a bit of depth. Yeah, happy with that. Oh, I love that corner. And I like it that both corners aren't the same, although I do think I need a bit more in there. See, I shouldn't have taken that away, should I? But you know what? Roughly get it where it was. Just want to add a little bit more in that corner, just to balance it. Yeah, that's better. Happy with that. After me taking it away. And again, if you're not sure, take a picture and have a look. Sometimes it somehow looks different on a photograph. Right, time to add some colour. So my lovely aquarelle pencils, and it's the usual numbers for the bee. I've gone 2, 5 and 16. I do need them to make these numbers larger though. So just a little bit of blue, orange and yellow. And then in with my clear, check it's the clear Wink of Stella, and just drag that colour out. So blend the colours, but also we'll add a little bit of shimmer. Lovely. And then just on my red poppies, what I want to do is just add a little bit of brown just to the base and just in the middle here with this one. So you can tell I've been watching Mona, can't you? Mona's the queen of colour in these. I mean, I'm not going to spend ages doing the fabulous colouring like Mona does. But again, she inspires me to get better. So I'm just going to add a little bit, just a little bit of detail in the middle, only a little. And then with my yellow, just almost a little bit of white. And you won't see a lot, but just to add those light little touches. Yeah, happy with that. It just gives it a little bit more interest, doesn't it? Now, our lovely flowers here. I've got this glaze, beautiful glaze pen that I got when I was at Lavinia for the fairy festival. And I'm just going to put it on these dots here. And at this point, you'll be saying, Jo, I'm so glad you didn't do a whole field of those, because you'd have to sit and watch me dot in every single one of these. But I have to say, while I'm dotting these in, and I'm just going to put it on the lovely stems, look. I'm going to add a few little dots on my bee as well. And he's lovely, you know, like his little fluffy bits. Now, I am sorry to the lady who said she doesn't like bees and she can't use them. They really frighten her. So I'm so sorry, but you know what? This design would look lovely with a butterfly there. So I hope you're okay with butterflies. Or just put the moon there. And what about a sentiment, a lovely word? I mean, again, this would make a gorgeous card. I'm just getting a bit carried away here now with this lovely yellow pen. I need to stop. Last little finishing tricks, and we're going to come in with our Posca splats. Now, I've gone for the yellow and the white, and I'll tell you why. I just love the yellow, the way the yellow shows up around the top of the flowers, and it almost looks like lots of little bees in the distance. So I did the yellow first, but then I wanted something a little bit more at the base, so it just showed up a bit more, and the white really shows up on that lovely dark denim. So for me, it was a mixture of the two. And it's actually nice that to do a mix of the two. So what I will do now, if you just bear with me, I'm going to use my heat tool just to come along and roughly dry it all, but also to just help that masking tape peel off. As you know, Lavinia low-tack, it peels off beautifully anyway, but just popping your heat tool on it will just help. So I'll just slowly does it. Go around, peeling them off one after another, and that heat tool really does make a difference. And there we have. I'll take that paper out from underneath. So there's our lovely. Now, I must admit, I don't know about you, but I'm so pleased with that. Just last little thing I've just noticed, I just want to give him a little bit of, yeah. But I love that. I'm really happy with that. And I love the white space around it. I think it really frames it. And I know it's not easy, but I'll try and show you. So that's the base. So it's not easy trying to get the whole thing for you. But for me, I am so excited. I think that is going to look absolutely lovely hung on my wall or on somebody else's wall. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And just remember, if you're not doing a calendar, but you want to make, I'll tell you what, this would make a lovely picture to frame. Now imagine having that framed and saying to people, I made that, I did that. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? So thanks as always for joining me. So lovely to spend time with you. If you do anything along these lines, please tag me in. I love to see what you do, and I love to hear how you're getting on and which bits you like. So you take care. I'll pop along tomorrow, another little catch up with you. Sleep well. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.